Yes.
How was the
We
experience there?
It was very good.
Mm,
We sailed across the Pacific. So as the Arab Spring was happening in Northern Africa, we changed our mind about going there, and we had some friends who were heading across the Pacific. So
mm,
we didn't have any other plans. So we said, we'll join you.
right.
And so we went through the Panama Canal with them and across the Pacific. We ended up in New Zealand, and we had to get a new engine. Our engine was shot, so we had to replace the diesel engine.
Was that by the time you got to New Zealand?
Correct. It
Wow.
was, in fact, I had to be towed into the marina where we
Oh,
replaced the engine.
wow.
It was it had a number of issues, really not worth repairing,
Okay.
and we just put a whole new engine in.
Nice.
And
Beautiful.
New Zealand was a wonderful place. We bought a car for about $1,000 and traveled to the South Island.
Hmm.
Um, did some hikes. There's wonderful hiking there, beautiful trails.
Mm.
Um, and did that for a couple months. And when we were done with the car, we sold it for the same price we bought it for.
Look at that.
And it's extremely easy there to do. In
Really?
fact, I wasn't even present when we sold the car. Some friends sold it for us
That's
because
interesting.
we were out of town. But the
Right.
paperwork's very easy,
Hmm.
insurance is easy,
Mm.
um, and the cars are in pretty good shape, even though they're older cars.
Right.
They have to be inspected every 6 months
Wow.
for cars of the age that we bought, and any deficits need to be fixed.
Wow.
So in general,
They keep it up.
they're
They keep
pretty
it up
well
to par.
maintained.
Right. Right. They keep it up
Right,
to par. Mm.
right.
How was the people in New Zealand, like the New Zealanders? I've never really interacted or met, anyone from New Zealand. I mean, quite.
Well, they're a hardy group of people.
Mm.
They are being on an island. Sometimes you don't have access to everything you'd like,
Right.
even though it's a big island and
Yeah,
they
it's
have industry
huge.
there.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's right.
Mm.
It's not like the smaller Caribbean islands.
Yeah. Exactly.
They have industry there, but then again, they're a long ways from many places. So
Mm.
getting goods and services there is a little more difficult than in the United States.
Hmm.
So they're clever people and will jerry rig something out of some other parts and
Hmm.
and make it work.
Wow. Nice.
And they're hardy people.
Mhm.
If you take in North America, if you take your children out of school and say, we're going to go hiking for 2 weeks,
Mhm.
the principal or your teacher might give you a hard time and
True.
say, but your children are missing out on classroom
Yeah.
time.
True.
Versus in New Zealand, it would be you'd get a badge of honor for doing that, for taking your children out of school and going hiking with them.
Wow.
So it's encouraged, and it seems like everybody can ride a horse, can sail,
Mm.
can scuba dive. I
Nice.
mean, that's the kind of people they are.
Mm.
We met everyone we met could do all those things. They'd
That's
scuba dive for scallops. Uh, uh, the mechanic who helped replace our engine,
mhm.
caught 2 marlin in
Wow.
1 month while he was replacing our engine.
Wow.
So we were the beneficiary of some of that catch.
Yeah. Marlins, they
Um,
usually grow big, right? Sometimes some.
they're huge.
Yeah.
You know, 12 feet long,
Woo.
very large. And
Nice.
he caught him right outside the river entrance
What?
where we were staying
Wow.
in Whangarei in the North Island.
Nice.
So yeah, yeah, I enjoyed them.
Nice. I remember like
And
what
then,
we spoke. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
well, I was just going to say, and then there are you know, the original inhabitants of New Zealand, the Maori. Uh, uh, we've had some interactions with those folks, and have kind of watched New Zealand settle some treaty disputes, similar in the United States with our Native American Indians. Some of the promises for the reservations maybe were not what they had expected them to be. And the same thing happened with the treaty between the English, who initially came to New Zealand, and the Maori tribal people. And, a couple hundred years ago. And New Zealand is now addressing these injustices. They're taking a couple issues every year. Sometimes it is maybe land that was taken inappropriately, and it's being returned to the Maori group of people. It might be other practices of the group that may conflict with the Anglo rules that have been imposed in the last couple hundred years.
Wow.
And trying to have workarounds for those issues. And so it's good for the New Zealanders that they are tackling these issues slowly. It'll take decades, but they're addressing them.
Generally, the population in New Zealand is, as you said, came from England, right?
Correct.
So the accent is very English, or very close, or is there like a difference in the way they speak?
No, of course, you never want to confuse a New Zealander and an Australian. Each will take offense.
Really?
And South Africa also. To my ear, they have similar dialects.
Yeah, similar. Yeah.
And it takes me a while to really listen and appreciate which country they're from.
Wow.